Hey guys, Seventh Moose from the left here. Obviously, I'm gonna skip my video on fixing the prison system and make it up sometime in the middle of the week here. I just started a new job, so it's gonna be a little weird, but I'll get it done. Um, I do want to talk about the riots in Minneapolis today, and I'm pretty upset about it. I'm exhausted right now. I've tried to do this video multiple times, maybe a little bit emotional, but more emotionally worn out from just watching this and everything else. And I just want to get right into it today. So, start off by saying, just so you guys know exactly where I'm coming from here, it's obvious that Officer Derek killed George Floyd. I don't want to say murdered. Murdered would suggest intent. And I don't know if he really meant to kill him, but I think it's obvious he meant to hurt him. I don't know if it was racially charged. I haven't seen the evidence to directly support that, and I don't like to say things if I don't know them to be true or at least have a good understanding of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but I'm not going to come out and say it definitely is racist. Not like the media is, not like the left is. That's not my style. If you watch the video, it's pretty hard to watch. It's one of the hardest videos of an incident like this to watch out of any of them. It's rough, man. I would suggest you watch it just so you can understand. Do a little bit of research on your own before you finish up this video. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to encourage you all to watch this whole thing straight through, like, share, subscribe, all that. But no, if you haven't seen the video, close this window. I don't even care. Go watch it. Hopefully you'll come back. If you have, then you understand what I'm talking about. Situations like this, I'm very pro blue, so to speak. I'm very pro police officer. Um, I support the police in general. And when something like this happens, it makes it really hard to support the police. It makes it hard to come out as pro police. I know a lot of people do it right now, especially, and it can be important. This is not all police. I'm pretty sure most officers don't walk out the door, put on their badge and gun, and say, gee, I hope I shoot me a minority today. I'd be surprised if you'd find any. I'd be surprised if you find any police that do that. There might be some. And I'm sure there's a lot of racist cops out there. That's not the point. Just like it's hard for me to come out and support officers right now, when a protest turns violent like it has, when they start setting fire to things, start smashing up privately owned small businesses and shops, burning down big businesses, it gets really hard to come out and say, good job, guys. Keep doing it. Go on. Do that. That's what we want. And I've seen a lot of things on Facebook that bother me a lot here. It's part of the reason why I'm so upset because I feel like nobody's really getting it. A bad thing happened. Really bad thing, an evil thing. And then even worse things happened. Well, maybe even worse is the wrong word, but maybe it's right. More damage was done than just one life by the riots and the protests. More lives affected. People will die from losing their jobs, from the economic loss. Not a lot, but more than one. So I can't support these riots, just like I can't support this cop who did this terrible thing. But you know what I'm seeing on Facebook? People saying stuff like, well, the Boston Tea Party that was done by a bunch of white people was fine, but this isn't. And you know, that's exactly what a lot of people are saying. That is exactly it. You know, the Boston Tea Party was targeting the East India Trade Company, which is a British company, specifically their tea, specifically because of a tax that they didn't like. And while it sounds stupid to get upset about a tax on tea, you have to understand tea was life back then. There wasn't coffee, there wasn't safe water to drink. It was either beer or tea for your hydration. So it was life essential. And, you know, people got mad at the people who threw the tea in the water. So it's not what you think it is. It's not all the same. Some people are saying, or some people are sharing the Martin Luther King quote. It says, riot is the voice of the unheard. I'm not going to bother debating that one because it's pretty easy. And I want you guys to actually watch the video I'm going to link below. It's the full speech. It's a long speech, don't get me wrong. Martin Luther King's a good speaker, though. It's worth a listen, for sure. You'll understand exactly what he was trying to say when he said that. You're twisting his words completely the opposite direction. Another thing I'm seeing a lot is, well, it wasn't cool when they protested in this way or that way or whatever way. No, some people didn't like it. A loud minority didn't like it. A lot of us supported it until it turned violent. So this is what happens. You make a protest, you get a bunch of supporters, some people you get notoriety for it. And then for whatever reason it turns violent and you lose support. And that's what's going to happen here. And it's not just that. It's worse than just losing the support from a clear case of police brutality. A clear case of police brutality. Now it's going to be forgotten over the riots. Now in Minneapolis, in this city, there's going to be more violence, more tension, less community support from the police because they're going to be afraid of the people, because they're going to see what was done. They're going to be afraid to arrest anyone on fear that they'll make a mistake. And in the same token, the people are going to be afraid of the police because of the harsh crackdowns on the protests and the riots, and because of someone was killed. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But you know, it doesn't just affect Minnesota, or Minneapolis here, I'm sorry. It affects all over the country, this same stuff. And it just doesn't affect the police or the people. Right now, sitting on his porch somewhere in the South, maybe even in Pennsylvania, is a guy drinking beer with a 16-year-old, a racist piece of garbage, who's going to use these riots and these protests and say, this officer did the right thing because these animals can't be controlled. Look at them. And this drunk 16-year-old is going to see that and say, hey, maybe that is right. Because the guy supplying the alcohol here, the racist piece of shit, can't put it on Facebook. He'll get banned. Where everybody all around them can debate them and kill his idea before it reaches Timmy, the 16-year-old. And so now Timmy's in an echo chamber, just one person. No one's there to debate the ideas. It's just fueling more racist hate. And I don't like it. I don't like any part of this. I hate all of it. End of video.